What's going on, crypto traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Today is Monday, June 30th. I hope you had a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to do another rapid fire news update. This time it's going to be for the period June 21st to the 27th. And again, it's not a deep dive detail. It's just a high level overview in case you missed it, and you can dive into it more on your own time. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe. Tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live, and I post these videos each and every week. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So 3IQ, one of the first companies in Canada to launch a spot XRP ETF, their assets under management, or AUM, hit $17 million in just 72 hours, signaling rising institutional demand. In my opinion, this is going to rival all other crypto ETFs and could become the most popular, in my opinion, maybe even rivaling Bitcoin, which is no easy task. We'll see what happens. Bitcoin has been one of the most successful ETFs in history, and as the US, the biggest economy and capital market of the world, looks to launch dozens of ETFs potentially this year. We know that Bloomberg analysts are saying it's over a 95% chance that it happens this year. I would say it's a virtual certainty at this point, and I think you're going to see it's going to turn a lot of heads, folks. We got Polymarket saying it's like 98%, and I've never seen Polymarket that high and been wrong before. So things are getting very, very exciting. Japan proposes reclassifying crypto as well, paving the way for ETFs and lower taxes. This is just game theory playing out, folks. It's not a coincidence that it's all happening roughly around the same time. It's because they don't want to be left behind, right? They don't want to miss out, and they get that FOMO, and it's just game theory playing out. Once one goes, they all go. And that's what we're starting to see here across the globe. Also, the block reported that MasterCard taps Chainlink to provide direct on-chain fiat to crypto conversions for cardholders. And again, we're just seeing this industry go absolutely mainstream at the moment. We have legislation, potential, Genius Act and stablecoin legislation looking to be passed in July. And then we could see a kind of a Clarity Act and a market structure bill at some point between now and the fall. But it's looking like that more than likely will get done before the end of the year. Also, speaking of Chainlink, they reveal a new compliance standard targeting 100 trillion institutional crypto flows. The new compliance solution may cut billions in compliance costs for institutions looking to invest in the crypto economy. So I'm super bullish on Chainlink. I own it in my portfolio. Obviously, not financial advice, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but I think it's going to be another solid project to hold long term. Also, CME XRP futures hit $542 million volume in the first month, strengthening the case for spot XRP ETFs. And we got some information on this in just a moment of why we could even see even more likelihood that they get passed very, very soon. While we're on the topic of crypto, I want to shout out to a new project and sponsor of the channel. And this section of the video is sponsored by Sapphire Studios. It's a paid partnership, and they're behind the mobile strategy game called Gold Inc. First and foremost, this is not financial advice. You should do your own research and never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. This is for entertainment purposes only. What's different here is the game beta just went live, and their token called SST is in pre-sale now at a very low and attractive market cap. Gold Inc. is one of the largest Web3 games currently and to ever launch, and in my opinion, I believe this is going to be absolutely huge. Like I said, it's backed by Sapphire Studios, and you can download and play today. I'm going to play a 2-minute video review that I think describes the game extremely well, so you can get a proper look at it. If you decide to use my link in the description and in the comment section below, you can get up to 10% bonus SST tokens during the pre-sale. You can also find links below for the app on Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.
Hi folks, I'm here to talk about my mobile game pick of the year, Gold Inc. My name's Colin Stone, I've been reviewing entertainment for more than a decade, and let me tell you, Gold Inc. very well could be the most addictive game ever built. Imagine a game that allows you to build a realistic mine with real-world profits, mining real-world gold and assets while battling it out for land and resources in an open-player governed game world with 10,000 bloodthirsty people. All that alongside your closest friends 24/7. That's exactly what Gold Inc. is. It's more than a game, it's a lifestyle. Gold Inc. is one of the most expansive, massive multiplayer games on mobile and the first truly freedom-oriented open-world MMOs with a player-run economy. In Gold Inc., you run your own realistic gold mines, own land with real-world value, manage your company, and at the same time, work hard to defend you and your friends' assets against competing alliances. Don't want to play by the rules? No problem. You can build up a military with your friends and make money by pillaging gold from rivals. Become powerful enough and you could even take the king seat and make a hefty real-world income collecting taxes from everyone. The creators of Gold Inc. wanted to break the mold by making an open mobile game with no rules. A game that blended game and reality that people would want to invest years into. And in my opinion, they've more than accomplished that goal. They created a new genre of open gaming. Finally, don't wait. Download Gold Inc. now because they are only letting so many players into their first launch phase. The sooner you get in, the more your account will be worth because all the alliances are new and will be at the same level for a very short time. Now is the easiest time to get that king spot. That's it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. This is your sign to download Gold Inc. today.
With that, thank you very much to Sapphire Studios for sponsoring this part of the video. The project is super exciting. There's so many real world use cases, and the SST token is going to be available across multiple different games as well. One that they're developing at the moment is called Stellar Extraction, and it creates all kinds of real world utility. Most of the time I pass on pre-sales, but this was a project that I couldn't pass up. Check out the links in the description, and we'll get back to today's video. Cardano launches night airdrop for XRP holders. Here's who qualifies. So if you haven't seen this, I highly encourage you to check this article out from CoinDo. Again, I won't go into it in full detail, just an effort of time, but you can take a look at that. It had to do with the June 11th snapshot. And then moving right along, Ripple's stuck with the $125 million penalty, although I don't think they're too concerned. They were seeking, originally the SEC was seeking 1.2 billion with a B, and it was knocked down to 125 million. So essentially the judge denied the settlement terms, and it had to do with the fact that they wanted to remove the injunction of the past sales to institutional sales, historic institutional sales, and then also cut the fine down from 125 to 50. So at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, and we knew that there was two paths forward. I posted a video on this during the week. I said, they could either appeal it or drop the appeals, and then shortly after, just a couple days later, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple himself, straight from the horse's mouth, Ripple is dropping our cross appeal, and the SEC is expected to drop their appeal as well. As they previously said, we're closing this chapter once and for all and focusing on what's most important, building the internet of value, lock in. So this is the end of this almost 5-year legal battle and absolute nonsense of a lawsuit. In my opinion, it should have never been brought in the first place. But it's just a vetting process, right? It's giving the XRP and Ripple clarity on how to basically go forward, and also giving XRP the non-security status, which we know was given in 2023. So love to see it. It feels like it's been a lifetime, but love to see that it's coming to an end. Also, BlackRock XRP ETF buzz grows as Ripple SEC lawsuit nears end. So the fact that this was, kind of looked at as it was going to drag on for even longer, the fact that they dropped, a lot of people thought they were going to appeal it and go to the appellate court and maybe all the way up to the Supreme Court. The fact that they're both dropping cross appeals, by the looks of it, it means that the end is near of this almost 5-year legal battle, right? And the longer the lawsuit went on, the less chance of an XRP ETF getting approved was. And as I've been saying for many, many months, I think there's going to be a flurry of ETFs, altcoin ETFs, get approved around the same time, like XRP, Solana, Litecoin, Doge. There's a ton of them. Tron. So there's going to be, in my opinion, a whole flurry of them, and that's what's going to kick off the biggest alt season like you've never seen before. And I think the odds of an XRP ETF getting approved in the US, a spot one to be more specific, just went up dramatically as a result of these appeals being dropped. And you have to remember, BlackRock, the biggest asset manager on the planet, basically they run the world. They're going to be coming for XRP as well. There's no way in hell they're going to sit on the sidelines and not partake in this opportunity. Also, crypto briefing just in, Ripple is exploring several new acquisitions following its $1.25 billion hidden road purchase alongside major upcoming upgrades to the XRP ledger. And then a lot of speculation right now in the community that they could potentially acquire Uphold. As you know, in the case, it's okay for them to sell to exchanges, But the way they were doing their past sales to institutions, that was deemed as investment contracts. So the fact that, they could potentially acquire an exchange, that makes things very, very interesting. And like I said, a lot of speculation that Uphold could be in the mix. And that would make a lot of sense, given the fact that, it's a great brand, it's a great company. And then also they didn't delist XRP when pretty much every other exchange did during this nonsense of a lawsuit. Also, RippleX, which is the development arm of Ripple, they said, we are partnering with Wormhole to bring multi-chain interoperability to the XRP ledger and the upcoming XRP ledger EVM sidechain. So this is another drop in the bucket of just them proliferating pretty much every aspect of this industry. And in my opinion, they're going to be the Amazon of the crypto industry. Also, Ledger to phase out Nano S model urges users to upgrade. So there's been a lot of backlash about this. I have this product myself. It's actually terrible. I can't believe how bad it is. I pretty much gone to Tangem. So if you haven't already taken advantage of the code, you can just use code POW. You can get 10% off Tangem. Go to tangem.com. It's super easy, cheap, secure, safe. And that's what I've got actually 2 of them. And I absolutely love it. But we should get more details soon. Just like Uphold's going to be leaving Canada, but we have until September 8th to basically move all of our crypto off of there. So essentially, we're probably going to see, this was just a few days ago. So I think we'll get an official update on when this will have to happen by. So we don't need to freak out too much yet at the moment. But they will be phasing out the Nano S model. A lot of people weren't happy about this, kind of forcing people to upgrade and then put in their seed phrase into a different device. And it just opens up a whole other can of worms that people didn't want to go through, and the whole loyalty aspect. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. Do you think that is a smart move by them or dropping the ball? Also, this is some huge news coming up here. 2 back-to-back news pieces. Gemini launches tokenized US stocks for EU traders via Arbitrum. Folks, everything's going to be tokenized. Stocks, bonds, there's not going to be any more opening and closing bell. Everything's going to trade 24/7, 365, just like we do with crypto right now. That's where the world is heading. Fractionalized ownership. You'll be able to buy 0.00001 share of Tesla if you want. And then the big news of the week. Robinhood expands into tokenized equities and crypto perpetual futures and plans layer 2 blockchain with Arbitrum. So this is, like I said, it's probably going to be a 2025, at the very latest 2026 thing, folks, where you're just going to see everything of value tokenized, including stocks, bonds, you name it. So things are getting extremely interesting. And with stablecoins pegged to these fiat currencies like the US dollar, for example, like USDC and Circle and Ripple's USD, they're buying treasuries, right? And they have to keep that in reserve. It's actually like building up the value of the US dollar because it's making it more accessible, and they have to hold those treasuries, right? So they're actually in turn buying, and propping up the US dollar or these other fiat currencies around the world, right? There's going to be the stable coin for the British pound, right? The yen, you name it. Everything is going to be tokenized, and you're going to have all these stable coins, and companies are going to have stable coins. Things are really starting to heat up in a big way. Also, speaking of treasuries, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says a new Federal Reserve chair is incoming within weeks. So things are heating up in a big way as we see the drama between the new administration and Fed Chair Powell, kind of just trying to avoid stagflation and not lower rates too quickly because they don't want to create that issue of stagflation, which has been something that happened in the past where rates were raised too early, and it created a whole other can of worms. So we'll see what happens there. I think there's a very high probability that they cut rates over the next month or so. And things are going to heat up in a big way. Also, Crypto Briefing says the SEC has officially acknowledged Grayscale's amended proposal to convert its digital large cap fund into an ETF that would include Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano, ADA. So again, folks, you're going to see baskets, you're going to see multiple ETFs, spot ETFs for these altcoins, and it's going to create, in my opinion, the biggest alt season like you have never imagined. And then also from Crypto Briefing, just in, Ripple's XRP Ledger EVM sidechain is now live on mainnet. And Robinhood launches Ethereum and Solana staking. So again, we're approaching that part in the industry where we're absolutely mainstream. And it's something to behold, folks. Just strap in over the next couple of months and to end this year, maybe even some spillage into 2026. We're going to see like I said, an alt season, a bull market like you never thought possible. Going in at there though, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this news in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. Have a great night, and we'll see you again on the next video.